El Salvador, a small Central American nation, carries the weight of a troubled past. Nestled between Honduras and Guatemala, this country has a rich cultural heritage, but also a history marred by conflict and strife. Plagued by gang violence for decades, its streets have run red with the blood of innocents, and the echo of fear has resonated through its communities. The pervasive presence of gangs like MS-13 and Barrio 18 has created an environment where safety is a luxury few can afford. In response to this pervasive climate of terror, a controversial solution emerged: Seco Prison. This facility was conceived as a fortress of security, a place where the most dangerous criminals could be contained. This high-security fortress, located in the heart of the Salvadoran countryside, has become a symbol of the nation's desperate fight for peace, but also a lightning rod for international criticism. Its imposing walls and strict regulations are both a promise of safety and a source of controversy. Seco, short for Terrorism Confinement Center, is not just another prison. It represents a new chapter in El Salvador's ongoing battle against crime, a chapter that is as complex as it is contentious. It is a stark monument to El Salvador's iron fist approach to law and order. The guards patrolling its corridors and the high walls surrounding it are a constant reminder of the government's zero-tolerance policy towards gang violence. This imposing facility, inaugurated in 2023, stands as a testament to the government's unwavering resolve to crush the notorious gangs that have held the country hostage for far too long. The inauguration was a significant event, attended by high-ranking officials who hailed it as a turning point. Its construction, a bold statement in itself, signaled a turning point in El Salvador's narrative, one that promised a future free from the grip of gang violence. The massive undertaking was seen as a beacon of hope for many, a sign that change was possible. However, Seco's narrative is not one of simple triumph. The discussions among officials often reveal the complexities and challenges that come with such a monumental project. It is a complex tapestry woven with threads of hope, despair, and controversy. The emotional faces of inmates and the shadows in the prison corridors tell a story of human suffering and resilience. While the prison stands as a symbol of the government's commitment to security, it has also become a focal point for international scrutiny, with human rights groups raising serious concerns about the treatment of inmates within its walls. Protests and news coverage highlight the ongoing debate about the balance between security and human rights. The story of Seco is a story of El Salvador itself, a nation grappling with its demons, searching for peace and stability in the shadow of its violent past. The waving flag and the streets that oscillate between peace and unrest encapsulate this struggle. It is a story that demands to be told, a story that forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about the price of peace and the true cost of security in a world grappling with the complexities of crime and punishment. The dramatic sunset over Seco Prison serves as a poignant reminder of the ongoing journey towards a safer future. To understand Seco, one must first venture into its belly, into the heart of this concrete behemoth. This is not just a prison, it is a fortress designed to break the will of those who enter. Located approximately 75 kilometers southeast of San Salvador, the nation's capital, Seco rises from the landscape like a steel and concrete monolith. Its presence is both commanding and foreboding, a stark reminder of the state's power. Surrounded by miles of barren land, its isolation is palpable, a physical manifestation of its purpose, to cut off the lifeblood of the gangs by severing their connection to the outside world. The desolation around it serves as a constant reminder of the inmates' severed ties to society. Designed to house up to 40,000 inmates, Seco is a fortress within a fortress. Its sheer size and scale are overwhelming, a testament to the state's commitment to eradicating gang influence. Its perimeter, a forbidding expanse of towering walls topped with razor wire, is patrolled 24/7 by a small army of over 1,800 guards. These guards are ever vigilant, ensuring that no one escapes and no contraband enters. This includes a mix of prison officers, soldiers, and riot police, all equipped with the latest in security technology. Their presence is a constant reminder of the prison's unyielding control. Every inch of the prison is under constant surveillance, from the watchtowers that pierce the sky to the countless CCTV cameras that monitor every corridor and cell. The level of scrutiny is unparalleled, leaving no room for privacy or rebellion. Seco is more than just a physical structure, it is a system designed to crush the human spirit. The cells are bleak and unwelcoming, a stark contrast to the freedom the inmates once knew. Cell phone signals are jammed within a 1.5-mile radius, ensuring that communication with the outside world is all but impossible. This technological barrier further isolates the inmates, cutting off any hope of outside contact. Visits are strictly prohibited, with even legal consultations conducted via video conferencing. This policy ensures that the inmates remain isolated even from their legal representatives. The prison is intended to be a black hole, swallowing up the gang members and isolating them from the society they once terrorized. It is a place where time stands still, and the outside world becomes a distant memory. The prison's very design is a testament to its mission of absolute control. Every element, from the layout to the materials used, is intended to reinforce the sense of confinement and control. It is a place devoid of hope, where the air hangs heavy with the weight of confinement and the silence is broken only by the clanging of bars and the barked orders of the guards. The atmosphere is oppressive, designed to break the spirit and enforce compliance. Within Seco's walls, a dangerous mix of El Salvador's most hardened criminals fester. This prison, notorious for its high security measures, is home to some of the most feared individuals in the country. The majority of the inmates belong to two notorious gangs, Mara Salvatrucha, more commonly known as MS-13, and Barrio 18. These gangs have a long history of rivalry and violence. These gangs, born from the chaos of El Salvador's civil war in the 1980s, have terrorized the country for decades. Their origins are deeply rooted in the socio-political turmoil of that era. Their tentacles reach deep into Salvadoran society, their influence felt in everything from extortion rackets and drug trafficking to brutal acts of violence that have left countless families shattered. The impact of their actions is widespread and devastating. MS-13, recognizable by their elaborate tattoos often covering their entire bodies, are infamous for their ruthlessness. Their reputation for extreme violence precedes them. They operate with a strict internal hierarchy, their leaders often directing operations from within the prison walls. This structure allows them to maintain control and continue their activities even while incarcerated. Their rivals, Barrio 18, are equally brutal, known for their use of extreme violence and their deep-seated hatred for MS-13. The animosity between these two groups is palpable. The rivalry between these two gangs is legendary, a bloody feud that has claimed thousands of lives both inside and outside prison walls. This ongoing conflict shows no signs of abating. Seco, designed to quell this violence, instead serves as a pressure cooker, housing these sworn enemies under one roof. The environment is tense and volatile. The potential for violence is ever present, a simmering tension that permeates the very air within the prison. Every interaction is fraught with danger. The presence of these gangs within Seco is a constant reminder of the challenges facing El Salvador. The government's efforts to control the situation are ongoing. Their influence, though significantly curtailed by the government's crackdown, continues to cast a long shadow over the nation. The fight against these gangs is far from over. Seco, intended to be a symbol of the government's victory over these criminal organizations, also serves as a stark reminder of the deep-seated nature of the problem. The road to peace and stability is long and arduous. In El Salvador, President Nayib Bukele has launched a bold and some might say unprecedented war on gangs. His administration has taken a hardline approach, aiming to dismantle the powerful criminal organizations that have long plagued the country. Bukele's strategy includes deploying military forces to gang-controlled areas, enacting strict laws, and significantly expanding the prison system. Critics argue that this approach may violate human rights, but Bukele remains steadfast, believing that strong measures are necessary to restore peace and security. As the world watches, the outcome of this aggressive campaign remains uncertain. So, you might be wondering, could Seco Prison be a solution for housing America's criminals? Well, the question is more complex than it seems. On one hand, the facility offers state-of-the-art security and rehabilitation programs. On the other hand, the ethical implications are considerable. Could this be a viable option? Or is it just a temporary fix to a much larger problem? Now let's talk about human rights concerns. Many critics argue that Seco Prison's stringent measures may violate basic human rights. The lack of privacy, the strict routines, and the constant surveillance can be seen as dehumanizing. Are these measures justified in the name of security, or do they cross the line into human rights violations? It's a debate that continues to rage on. Public opinion on Seco prison is, well, divided. Some see it as a necessary evil to maintain peace and order, while others view it as an affront to human dignity. The cost of maintaining such a facility is also a point of contention. Is the price of peace worth the potential ethical compromises? This is a question that society must grapple with. Finally, is Seco prison a symbol of hope or despair? For some, it represents a beacon of hope, a place where criminals can be rehabilitated and reintegrated into society. For others, it's a symbol of despair, a place where human rights are secondary to security. The true nature of Seco prison may lie somewhere in between. Only time will tell.